Hello all, in this particular tutorial, I'll talk about how to create your first Windows virtual machine. In this particular tutorial, I'm using Windows Server 2022 and this particular virtual machine will be created on VirtualBox. Now, these steps, whatever are explained here will work if you want to create a virtual machine for Windows 10, Windows 11, Windows Server 2012, 2016, 2019, and 2022. Remember, for Windows 11, your machine needs to have the TPM and some of the other mandatory requirements. So Windows 11 needs a special requirement for your personal machine. Now, we need to download the Oracle VirtualBox. You can use this particular link or you can search in the Google or any search engine for Oracle VirtualBox and download it. And also we need to download the Windows Server 2022 ISO from Evaluation Center. Again, as I mentioned, that you can use any of this operating system. If you have the ISO image for any of this, the steps mentioned here will work exactly fine. So let's start. Open the browser, search for Oracle, download, or otherwise say Oracle VirtualBox. Search for Oracle VirtualBox. You will get this particular link. Click on that particular link. It takes you to this download VirtualBox 7. This is the latest version, which is 7.0.6. Choose 7.06. So choose Windows host. The reason why I'm choosing Windows host is because my machine, the machine where we are going to install the Windows is where we are going to install the VirtualBox is Windows. It's not because I'm installing the Windows on the VirtualBox. It's because where we are running, and we also need to download this another package called Oracle VM VirtualBox extension pack. So let's go and download that as well. So both of these particular packages are downloaded. Now, the second part is, as I mentioned, I'm going to use Windows Server 2022. So what you can do is it's freely downloadable. So search for in your browser, search for Windows Server 2022 download ISO. It will take you to Evaluation Center. This is the Evaluation Center. You can download the ISO here, but what happens is like you need to give some mandatory information. So it says first name, last name, you have to give this and just click on download now. It's going to download an ISO for you. You don't have to sign up. It's just an information. So you don't have to log in or create ID. All that you have to do is give this particular information, and this particular, it will give you a link. It will download an ISO image for you, the Windows Server 2022 ISO image. So that's done. I have already done that. Let me close the browser. And what we are going to do now is we are going to go to the downloads and we are going to run on this VirtualBox, and I'm going to say yes. And we are at this moment installing the Oracle VirtualBox right now, the one which we downloaded. All the default options, that's fine. If you want to change the location, you can change the location. Click on next. Network interfaces is going to reset some network interfaces. I'm okay with that. Click on S. It's going to install some missing dependencies. I'm good, okay with that as well. And then we are ready to install, and click on the install. So what it's going to do is it's going to install Oracle VirtualBox 7.0.6. You can see an icon appeared on my desktop. That icon was not there. That icon appeared. I'm going to uncheck this and I'm going to click on finish. I'm going to go back to the downloads location, and you see that I've got another package called Oracle VM VirtualBox extension pack. Match that version 706 706. So match that version. Just double click on it, and it's going to the reason why it says reinstall, because I already installed one, so it's okay. I'm going to say reinstall. I'm going to agree, and it's going to install the VirtualBox extension pack for us. So that's all good. So the installation part of the VirtualBox is complete. We are now ready to create our first virtual machine. But before creating the virtual machine, what we are going to do is we are going to create a directory under the C drive. This particular directory will tell that we'll say to the VirtualBox, we'll use this particular directory to create all our virtual machines. Now, you don't have to create it under the C drive. You can create it on any drive that has got sufficient space, and any drive where you want to create your machine. So now I'm going to go to the file, go to the preferences, and I'm going to say default machine folder is C drive. Now, while creating the virtual machine, you can define a different location, but if you don't specify the virtual machine location, it is going to create the virtual machine in C drive VM, the directory that we just created. Now, click on machine, click on new, give the name of whatever machine. This is your name, whatever virtual machine you want to call it, anything that you want, your name, my name, anything. So I'm going to say, because this is a Windows 2012, I'm going to say Windows 2012, but it can be any name. And you see here, it chose the C drive VM. The reason of that is because that's where the I've specified that that will be the default location. Now, this the type and Windows, it's not Windows 10, so it's a Windows 2012. So I'm going to choose Windows 2012, and the ISO image, I'm going to also choose the ISO image Windows Server 2022 evaluation version. So I'm going to choose that, and I'm going to unclick on this skip unedited installation because I want to run through the installation. The base memory, give 4 GB minimum. I'll give 8 GB, but at least give 4 GB, minimum 4 GB. Give 2 processors minimum. I'll give 4 processors, but minimum give 2 processors. Click on next. Create a virtual hard drive. So 50 GB, I'll choose. If you want to change it, 50 GB, it says default. I'll change it to 80 GB. It won't use the 80 GB. It will not use 80 GB. So no problem if you don't have 80 GB free space on your drive. It's just that the maximum disk can grow up to 80 GB. If you say pre-allocate full size, then that's when it's going to allocate 80 GB. But we are not going to choose that particular option because it's a waste of space. Click on next and click on finish. All good. So now what we are going to do is we are going to say start. We are going to select that particular virtual machine. The blue means we have selected. If you have multiple virtual machines, you have to choose that particular machine and click on start. And what's going to happen is in the background, it's going to read the ISO image and it's going to initiate that particular, it's going to initiate the installation of, and you can see it's loading files. It's loading the files and it's going to go through. So it's going to go through. So it says language to install, United States, time and currency format, all good. If you want to change any of this, you can change based on the drop down. You can change these options, and I'm okay with this. So click on next, and let's say install now. And then what it's going to do is it's going to it's going to ask us which kind of version. Standard evaluation desktop, data center evaluation. I'll go with the data center evaluation. You can choose standard evaluation, whatever you want to install, whatever type of operating system you want to install. I'll go with data center evaluation desktop experience. Click on next. I accept. You definitely have to accept the license. Click on next. Upgrade or custom, based on where I'll choose upgrade. It doesn't matter because it's a base operating systems. I'll choose custom. This is the 80 GB that drive. I'll choose that particular drive. Click on next, and what it's going to do is it's going to now start the installation. So it's going to start the installation. The installation process is going to take some time, so I'm going to pause this video and come back once it's done. That's completed, and it's actually rebooting it has done the first installation, and it's actually started the reboot of that particular machine. So it's getting ready. It's the first boot, so it's again going to take some time. So let me pause the video once again and come back. And now we have reached where it asks for the administrator password. You need to give a complicated password. It won't take a simple password. So do not try to give a simple password. I'm saying pass 1234 hash. It's not a really complicated password, but it's going to work. I'll show it to you. The password that I typed is PASS 1234 hash with a P capital. It's going to take that particular password. So click on finish, and the operating system is installed. So we have successfully installed the Windows Server 2022. So let me log in as the user account, the administrator user account. Let's log into this particular server. And now I'm going to show you that this is a window. Let me right click on this. Click on the properties, and you can see that this is a Windows Server 2022 data center evaluation. Now, if you want to change the host name or the machine name, you can rename this. So you can right click on this, click on the properties, and you can rename this PCC. It chooses this particular default name. You can choose any name. So let's say Windows 2022 VirtualBox, so that it's a VirtualBox install. You can, and it's going to ask for a reboot, which I'm not going to do actually. So I'm going to do the restart later. And what we need to do is, if I want to show you something, you can't make this big. You can't make the screen big. See, the screen is small, and we can't copy. If I want to copy something, so let's say this is a notepad and I want to copy. So this is what I want to copy. Want to copy, and if I have copied this, I can prove it to you. I'm pasting it. I've copied it and it paste works. But if I go here, open the notepad, and if I paste it, if I try to paste it, it doesn't work. So there are some things that doesn't work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say devices, insert guest. So go to the devices. So I'll just minimize this. Devices, insert guest addition CD image. So that's done. Open the start menu. I do not know whether that, yeah, you can see it is now showing CD drive, VirtualBox, guest additions. Right, open that and click on this VirtualBox guest addition. So double click on it, and it's going to install this another package. We need to do this inside. The Windows 2000, inside the virtual machine, not outside. We need to do it inside. So click on next. This default location is all good, and it's going to, and once this particular package is installed, we need to restart the machine. But what I'm going to do is, instead of restarting, see, it's asked for reboot. I want to manually reboot later. I'm going to click on finish, and I'm going to shut down this particular machine. And once this particular machine is shut down, I'm going to go back to the settings of this particular machine, and I'm going to do three things. One of the thing is, go to the settings, go to the advanced and shared clipboard. I'm going to make it bidirectional. So that's the one thing that I'm going to do. And another thing is, I'm going to go to the settings one more time, go to the shared folders, and here click on plus, and I'm saying my local Windows C drive, I want to access that particular local C drive into the virtual machine. And I'm going to say auto mount, so that every time it starts, it's going to auto mount it. So that's done. Both of these things are done. Let's restart the machine, and let's see whether we are now able to copy whatever we typed here. We are able to copy it back to the virtual machine, or from virtual machine we are able to copy it here. We are going to verify, and we are also going to verify if this particular screen is bigger. So let's do that. Looks like the screen is still not big, but see the magic. The screen should be big enough. Let's actually wait for, let's log in. Maybe, okay, the password I typed, let's give it a minute. It should take effect. So give just one time, and for some reason, okay, just give it a minute. Okay, so I have to fix that problem. So that's okay, that will work. Yeah, that worked. So it took some time. So you can see that now that particular screen is big. So that's one fixed thing. Open the Windows Explorer, go to this PC. You can see there is another drive called C drive. This is a 200 GB drive. This is the C drive of my machine. And if you access that, you can see that this is that particular VM folder that we created with the virtual machine. So you can now access the C drive. So if you want to copy a particular file from your, if you want to copy a file from your local machine to the virtual machine, you can do that from here. And the last thing is, let's try to copy. So this is what I wanted to copy. Open the notepad. Okay, otherwise open the Windows prompt or PowerShell. Let's see if whatever we got there, and you can see this is what I wanted to copy. So I was able to copy that particular thing onto the virtual machine, or I will do the other way around. So let's do something. So I'm going to say this is PowerShell. I'm going to take this. This is PowerShell. I'm going to copy this. Go back to here, and I'm going to say this, and you can see I was able to copy from the virtual machine to my local machine, and from my local machine to the virtual machine I was able to copy. We were able to access the folders, and the screen is pretty big. We can see the screen is also big. So we fixed, and the reason why it worked is because of this guest editions. We install the guest edition, so that's important. So with this, I'll stop this particular tutorial. In this particular tutorial, we learned how to create a Windows virtual machine on VirtualBox. We used Windows Server 2022 and we used VirtualBox 7.06, the latest available. However, you can use older version and the steps mentioned here will work for Windows 10, Windows 11, Windows Server 2012, 2016, 2019 and 2022. Remember, for Windows 11 you need some extra settings because of the extra TPM requirements by Microsoft. I hope this particular tutorial was useful. I hope after watching this particular tutorial you will be able to create your virtual machine. I have also covered the Linux in the previous tutorial, and in this particular tutorial it was about the Windows. Thank you for watching and see you in next tutorial. Until then, enjoy. And if you do like the channel, if you do like the contents that I am uploading, please subscribe to my channel. And till then, have a blast in your life. Thank you. Bye bye.